Someone on the NANI? Floor in front of the van.
Roger, roger.
Okay, so I just shot this character with 2 PKM rounds, one in the leg and one in, I think, the left arm. See, it says moderate injury, impaired movement, minor injury, impaired accuracy, mild blood loss, impaired accuracy, impaired movement. Does this look like impaired movement? Also, let's look at the accuracy. So the immediate tactical impact of a character getting wounded, it's so minimal, most players won't need a medic for it or won't even notice that the character is injured. And I think that's the main problem with the medical system. So if you play medic yourself, you probably notice it a few times that you run around, ask players if they need a medic, and most of them are not even aware how injured they are, or if they're injured at all. And I think there's 2 ways to fix it. One tactical and one strategic. First, I'd also like to show you how the ambulance works. So in theory, in this game, if your character has a moderate or severe injury, I think it's only for severe injuries, then you need to get to an ambulance to get it fixed. And that system is actually pretty amazing. So you go to the ambulance car, go in as a medic, you have a player lie down on these things, and then you have to equip the ambulance kit. That can completely remove an injury. However, it has to be used in an ambulance or around an ambulance. However, that's something you almost never need in this game. Because even a player with a severe injury will probably not notice he's severely injured. So the first way I would like to fix that is to add more severe debuffs for injuries. So they have an immediate effect on combat, so like a tactical impact on it. So it should be like Escape from Tarkov in that sense. When a character gets hit in one leg, then the character should move really slow like that, and perhaps have some limping animation. So the camera, like in Escape from Tarkov, the camera shakes a bit up and down. Well, it's not like a shake, more like imitating a certain movement. And if the character gets hit in both legs, then only crouching animations are possible and crawling. There should be no more upright movement or even crouch movement. And if a character gets hit in the left arm, then there should be like some procedural animation of the gun being fired with the right hand only, which is possible for a gun like that, with a lot of sway. And reloading should be possible because the left hand can't do any complex motions anymore. And if the right arm is hit, then no action should be possible anymore. Like no using of weapons, hand grenades, or anything. Now this may seem really harsh for players. However, consider Escape from Tarkov has a similar problem here. In this game, like in Escape from Tarkov, you're completely combat capable until you're dead or until you're unconscious. So in Escape from Tarkov, for example, if you have 1 hit point left on your torso and all your limbs are blacked out, you can still stand like that, tap shift, and hit the guy 300 meters with whoever's go. And in this game, you're combat capable until you're basically knocked out. And when you are conscious again, you are still combat capable. You don't care about the injuries. You keep fighting until you're completely dead, then you respawn. So that gameplay space of a player being injured and wanting to get away from combat so he survives, there's currently no incentive for that, and almost no room for that to happen. That's why the game should have these harsh injuries. Because some players might say, okay, it's a bit harsh for a player to have to move like that after 1 leg hit. Let's say he's a kilometer away from friendlies. Well, then he should not be on his own away from friendlies. See how it feeds into the team play system. Sticking to other players, perhaps having a competent medic who carries a lot of medical items with him instead of PKM and a rocket launcher. Because then you have an organic incentive to stay with other players. And the medic player has a purpose in this game. Because it's currently one of the support roles in this game where the developers put in the most effort, but it's almost completely unused. And I think it shouldn't be wasted like that. Because if you look at the medical system in this game, look at the entry animation of this car. They custom mocapped it like that, see that? If you get out, look at the left hand. So they mocapped it realistically with the left hand slamming the door shut with the flat palm. And they put in all this effort for the medical system and for this car in general, and it's almost never used. And that's a waste, and it shouldn't be wasted like that. And the second effect should be a strategic effect. So I have several ideas. Some of them may sound harsh, but I'm just going to list them. So the first one would be that, let's say I have a player who dies while having a lot of injuries. Like he has a severe injury and he dies. And then he respawns somewhere. Then the next respawn should cost a lot more supplies for the player. Like a lot of supplies. So the player, if he doesn't want to drag down his team with supply cost, he would seek out a medic to get himself fixed. Oh, there should be a threshold to that because of like 1 or 2 minutes. So let's say you're in a firefight with an enemy, and you get hit once in a firefight, then a second time within a space of 1 or 2 minutes, and you drop dead. Then it should be not counted as a penalty for the next spawn. It should only count as a penalty if you take an injury and you survive with that injury for like 10-15 minutes, which means you carry it around without going to medic to get it fixed. That should then incur the penalty for the next supply respawn. Because it basically simulates more on a strategic level that, like in real life, you don't treat your body like a set of hit points that you can expand to a certain level. Like in real life, you would want to avoid at all costs breaking your pinky finger. And if you broke your pinky finger in that situation, you wouldn't like continue what you're doing. You would probably run away, get to a medic to get it fixed. And so there should be an incentive in this game for a player to keep himself at 100% all the time, and not see like because a lot of games make the mistake of not giving you that incentive. Escape from Tarkov being a prime example. For example, Escape from Tarkov, let's say you're at the corner of a room or at the door, and the enemy knows you have like a weaker weapon, and they have good body armor. What most players will do, they will just go in, tank the shots, knowing they can probably lose half the hit points, but they will still get you. That creates unrealistic tanky combat behavior. Because in real life, you wouldn't risk sticking your head into a door frame, even if you have the best body armor on the planet.